Hello, Rotary Club of Greenville. I'm Wade Culp, and I'm your new president for this coming year. Delighted to have you all here. We actually cheated a little bit, and I got to ring the bell before I've been past the gavel, but you can wait in suspense. We will be doing that. And glad to see all of you here today. I'd like to invite Bert Strange up to deliver our invocation and lead us in the pledge.
Will you join me in prayer? Holy One, as we begin a new year in Rotary, we gather to give thanks for the opportunities we have to serve our community, our nation, and our world through this organization. Bless, we pray, all our leaders. Jennifer Jones of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, the first woman president in the history of Rotary International. Our district governor, Joyce Morin of Lancaster, and our own Club President Wade Culp, as they direct our paths of service during the coming year. May they help us all to imagine Rotary in new and exciting ways as we unite with 1.4 million Rotarians across the globe, seeking to make both a quantitative and a qualitative difference in the lives of all your children. Bless our time together today, whether around these tables or through the miracle of technology, that we will be strengthened by the food and the fellowship to be your good servants in all that we do. Amen. Now, if you'll stand, please, and join me in saying with correct punctuation, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated.
Good afternoon. I would like to introduce our guest today. Just want to call your name. If you will stand and remain standing until we recognize everyone, and then we'll finish with a round of applause. So starting out, Matthew Prater, a guest of the club. Aaron Pridemore. Hey, Aaron, if you'll stand. Mark Scully. Hopefully I said that right. Abigail Smith and family. And they're all guests of the club. And then we also have John DeWorkin, who is a guest of George Fletcher. Let's all give them a warm welcome.
This is my exercise for the day so I can avoid going to the gym. This is a bittersweet moment for me. As I think some of you have heard me say before, I first met Abigail Smith when she was a junior, a brand new junior at the Benson campus of Greenville Tech when she was still a student at Greer Middle College. I saw her again a year later when she came and interviewed to be our Rotary Service Above Self Scholar, and she won. Now, even though she's a familiar face to a lot of us, she's been here for several years giving her annual speech. This is the last one. She's graduated from Furman. She did her very best and apparently succeeded to put me to shame. She apparently actually studied as an undergraduate at Furman. She graduated summa cum laude and membership in Phi Beta Kappa. I don't know how to spell those things, much less do them. So it is my pleasure and honor this one last time to introduce to you our Service Above Self just graduated scholar, Abigail Smith. Abigail.
Thank you, Dr. Strange. Well, this is it, my last time to address you as a Service Above Self scholar. My time at Furman has been a wonderful journey, and I'm beyond grateful to have been able to share it with all of you. As I reflected over my last 4 years at Furman, I was wondering, how does one measure the value of that time? We often measure our lives by significant moments, and there are several moments that stand out to me. The moment I got my acceptance letter to my top choice, and really only choice, university, Furman University. The moment I got the call from Judith Prince that I won the Service Above Self scholarship. The moment I moved into my first dorm. The moments I met my professors, unaware they would come to have such influence in my life. The moment I was given the opportunity to do research on 10th century Greek manuscripts at Harvard Center for Hellenic Studies in Washington, D.C. The moment I stepped off the plane in Israel, where I would spend the next 3 months living and studying. The moment I declared my major in religion and my minor in ancient Greek and Roman studies, or as some people call it, pre-unemployment. The moment I was offered a spring internship at Princeton's Love and Fidelity Network that became a 2-year job and established enduring relationships that continue even to this day. Each of the 4 moments that I have stood here and addressed you, the Greenville Rotary Club. And moments from this past year, when I gave my first lecture as a teaching assistant in medieval Christianity, when I led my first reading group about friendship and dating from the curriculum that I wrote, when I organized 3 cultural life programs for Furman students, the first on pluralism and civic engagement, the second on neuroscience and the human soul, and the third on human trafficking. When I served again as a family honor presenter, teaching young people about making good choices around sexuality. When I was awarded Phi Beta Kappa and departmental awards in religion and classics. And finally, when I walked across the stage on May 7th to receive my diploma, summa cum laude, and my time as a student came to a close. But as I was reflecting on these moments, I was reminded of a line from the musical Into the Woods. The singer says, "If life were only moments, then you'd never know you had one." My time at Furman cannot be measured simply by these moments, however great they were. No, my time at Furman is measured by hundreds of days laughing with friends, reading great books, asking questions, eating and worshiping and living, and trying to make myself and my community better in a million little ways. These everydays that bleed together and seem inconsequential are what makes a university experience, what makes a life worth living, what makes a world worth living in. We tend to focus on the big moments, promotions and elections, weddings and Supreme Court decisions, but these are not the things that make a life. These are not the things that make a community. A life is made in the thousands of days of working and resting, playing and loving. And it is how we do these things that measures our life, how hard we work, how much we love, how well we serve. A community is made by the thousands of little things that bind us together, smiling at a stranger, teaching your child to read, getting to know your neighbors, working every day, not for momentous change, not for a sudden utopia, but for a little bit more goodness, a little bit more truth, and a little bit more beauty. And I have seen this modeled in all of you over these past 4 years. I have seen how you each come twice a month to give your time to listen and to learn from one another, to help in the unique way that only you can, bring a little more goodness, a little more truth, and a little more beauty to this world. I've seen this especially in Judith Prince, who has been such a wonderful presence in my life and the lives of my fellow scholars. I will miss her presence at Rotary. I've seen this also in my mentor, Dr. Strange, who has known me and still remembers me as a shy young girl in his religion class. I see this exemplified in the Rotary's 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? It is not in the great moments of world-shaking events, but in the little, seemingly inconsequential things we think, say, and do every day that form us. And that is the special glory of being human. As I enter this next stage of my life, I will be living in these everydays. I'll be teaching K-3 as I discern my next steps. I'll be continuing to serve my community, especially through my church, Family Honor, the St. Clair's Home for Expectant Mothers, and continuing to advocate for friendship and connection with the Love and Fidelity Network. I am profoundly grateful to have spent these last 4 years being able to share with you not only my great moments, but also all these everydays. And I look forward to continuing with you for many more everydays to come. Thank you so much, Greenville Rotary Club.
And Abigail, remember St. Mary's is just down the road. So come visit us, okay? Don't be a stranger. So now it is going to be officially time to pass everything over to Wade. But from last meeting, we handed out some Paul Harris Fellow pins, and I just have 2 for people who are here today. One is Connie Lanzel, who's a +5. So Connie. And then this other one worked out just perfect. It's Wade, who's a +1. So isn't that perfect timing, right, Wade? Literally, it was like perfect. So it is such a pleasure to be passing. Wait, come closer to me. Gosh, it's like personal now. To officially pass the gavel over to you, right? That's very cool. And then also, Rude was kind enough at the installation event. They passed out the new banners. And as Bert indicated in his prayer hours, is Image Rotary, and wanted to give that to Wade so that he could officially place it in front for the year coming. Go down by the ring, I think. Yeah, I think it went right in there. Straight. You know what? Keep your day job. So with that, I just want to say thank you for stepping in.
It's such an honor to be speaking before all of you today and to be inaugurated, I'll say, as president of this club. And I do want to talk about the future, but before I do, I want to extend, again, a special thanks to Ramona. We had our last meeting celebrating the accomplishments of this past year, but it's worth mentioning some of the signature ones again. We saw the launch of Greenville's premier holiday fundraiser that netted nearly $40,000 for the good work that we do in this community, including service above self scholars like Abigail. So you know, with Abigail here today, that money is going to a great cause. We saw an incredibly successful peace and conflict resolution seminar that actually we even made money on that, and then had great attendance, and it was a district project. And we were also recognized as a Gold Club of Excellence by our district governor. That all happened because of Ramona's leadership, and she did an incredible job. It was a treat to work with her. She made board meetings fun. She helped work through all sorts of things that came up throughout the year, and she was a steady hand, a calm presence, and just a delight from first to last. So Ramona, we're glad you're our president. Thank you for the work you did, and please join me in thanking Ramona again. So in looking to the future, I would like to recognize those of our officers, and I know we've got a lot of people on vacation. This is a vacation time of year, right? But our officers and board members for this coming year. So if you're here, please stand when I call your name. Of course, our president-elect is Lisa Mangione. I think Lisa couldn't be here today. Ramona is, of course, our past president. Roger Heitzig, secretary. I think I saw, there's Roger. And Caroline Stoddard is our treasurer. I don't think I saw Caroline. Also our board, Lucy Henry, Lorraine Holman, Penny Robbins, Mike Sarvis, and Thomas Takayama. All of them are rolling on to the board this year. So congratulations to all of them. Be great to have you. We also have several board members who are continuing to serve: Chantel Babb, Christine Braswell Amin, there's Christine, Greg English, and Chris Manley. I don't think I've seen Chris today. And then we have several people who've been appointed for one-year terms: Marty Elliott, George McCall, and Pam Weaver. So these are your leaders for next year. It's not just me. So be looking to them as well. I'm excited to be serving with all of these folks. Many of them have been an inspiration to me in this. So we actually, as you already heard Bert mention, we have a fabulous new president of Rotary International this year in Jennifer Jones. And I have it on excellent authority that she was planning to be here to hear my inaugural address. But I'm going to give you the next best thing, because I'm going to show you in just a second, just a couple-minute video of her introducing our theme for this year. So you get to meet this real rock star. She was actually at the PETS conference, so I did get to be in the same room with her. I'm trying to remember now if I shook her hand, but I was definitely in awe, kind of standing around like many people, and super impressed with her. And she really is a rock star. And it is amazing to think this is the first female president of Rotary International, in part because we've had so many amazing female leaders, including Ramona, of this club over the years. But we've got our first female Rotary International president in Jennifer. So I'd like you to hear directly from her, since she couldn't be here today. I know she would have liked to have been. So here's a little taste of Jennifer.
50 years ago, an anthem was recorded that included this beautiful line: "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." I hear that lyric as a call to action. We all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. And when organizations like ours dream big things like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility to make these dreams a reality. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. You don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. Imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease, a world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that's, my dear friends, why our theme is Imagine Rotary. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? Some of you may be familiar with this play, or some of you may be more familiar with the Puccini opera that inspired it, La Bohème. My friend, sitting Governor Michelle Barriere, recently challenged a bunch of us to think about how each one of us gets the same number of minutes. How we choose to live them is the important question. On July 1, the clock starts ticking. How will you use these minutes?
Now, I'm not going to start singing. We used to do that, though. If you've been in this club for a long time and have a long memory, when I started, we had a song at every meeting. So let me know if you'd like to bring that back. I actually would enjoy that, but I'm just a single vote. I got a message from our assistant district governor, Dave Brenner. I think he was at our last meeting actually the other day, congratulating me on having been in Rotary for 10 years. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing. That's about the length of time I've been in Greenville. So it caused me to think back on the 10 years of 525,600 minutes that I've spent in part in this club. And so I came to Greenville and really knew very few people here. I was a new lawyer in this community. And the transformation, I think, in my own life that has been a direct result of this club is really remarkable. And I think back on that with a great deal of gratitude. For one, I think I now walk into any meeting or event in Greenville, and I see people that I know because of this club. And I see people that I have bonded with because of this club. And that is something that is a real tangible, valuable thing that I think we can go out and sell to people, because I know you all have had that same experience. You may have come new to Greenville, and all of a sudden you have a new group of people that become a solid base for you in any room that you walk in. I also think back on fabulous memories. I can't remember how long ago this was. It was a while, probably 7 or 8 years ago, but the late Trudy Heller spoke to our club, of course, the wife of our transformative mayor, Max Heller, recounting this remarkable story about her escape from Nazi Germany. So we've had speakers like Trudy Heller, a lot of other people too, but she stands out in my memory. I also think about working fall Saturdays on Roper Mountain. I think about my dear friend, the late Bob Atkinson, who, jumping in the back of a pickup truck with him, his heart was so committed to that project. And every time I showed up, which was far less often than people like Bob were there and those who really spent a lot of time, he would always say, "Wade, you're trying to be something more than a member of Rotary. You're going to be a Rotarian." And I think that distinction between a member of Rotary and a Rotarian is a really important one. I want to encourage us to continue to think on that throughout this year. So those are the kind of opportunities in the past, a speaker like Trudy Heller working with Holiday Lights. But those are the kind of opportunities that we have right here in this club this year that I think we should be excited to go out and share with folks. So right now, this year in this club, I'll give you a little preview of some of the speakers that we're going to be hearing from. Greenville County's Teacher of the Year will be here in October. The president of Clemson University, Jim Clements, will be here in November, I believe. And South Carolina's new Secretary of Commerce, Harry Lightsey, will be speaking to us. That's all in the next few months. There are a lot of other great speakers too, but those are going to be some cool programs. I think you'll enjoy bringing guests to those events. And you'll also have the opportunity to work alongside other people passionately committed to service at Greenville Holiday Village and share the magic of that, I think, transformative event for the holidays. And then you'll also have the chance to make a difference in the lives of students and teachers at a place like Alexander Elementary. And of course, we have other great opportunities in this club too. We have a need right now for people to go work the Greenville Literacy Association book sale. I just found out about that this morning, and some of you are involved in our other great projects as well. But all of these opportunities and so many more are present for us in this group that cuts across all the lines that typically divide us in our world right now. Lines of race, gender, politics, religion. What we need, and we're united around this simple four-way test that Abigail highlighted for us. I think that you all could see the benefit of inviting more people into that experience. And couldn't we use more opportunities to join together across those lines, especially in this bitter partisan world? So I'd really like you to join me in daring to imagine what Greenville would look like or could look like through the impact of this club. How might Alexander Elementary be changed? Imagine that. How might Greenville be changed? How might our upstate be changed? How, importantly, might even you be changed? And that's the journey that I think we're taking as this club. So a simple sign up there, a 3 with a circle around it. Every good preacher, I've always been told, has 3 points in the sermon, right? So I'm going to go beyond that, but I'm going to have 3 asks of all of you this year. And once you do these asks, we're going to keep track of it. Everybody's going to get a little 3 sticker, and you can put it on your badge. Because when I joined this club, I remember one of the things that I was told right at the beginning is we asked people to do 3 things with Holiday Lights. You need to work a setup day, go out there and rebulb. You need to work a ticket day where you go out and take up tickets in December, and then work a cleanup day in January. And a lot of people came in and they really believed that, and they started doing it. And I think it would be great if we could simplify what is our ask? What is the minimum, the sort of irreducible minimum as Rotarians this year? So here are my 3 asks of you this year. The first is going to be invite somebody to discover Rotary. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about membership. I'll keep it brief, but why discover Rotary instead of bring somebody to a meeting. Hear me say this, bringing people to a meeting is great. That Clemson fan, when Jim Clements comes, invite him or her. We want them to come to our meeting. But we have this amazing thing that happens with our program, Discover Rotary. We tend to get, if you get somebody to show up to Discover Rotary, between 1 in 2 and 1 in 3 of those people actually becomes a member of our club. And if everybody in this club got one person to Discover Rotary this year, we would be right on track for where we need to be in terms of membership. So some people may still be wondering, what is Discover Rotary? I've asked Beth Paget if she wouldn't mind coming up and just give us 2 minutes about Discover Rotary, and then I'm going to let you know about my other 2 asks.
Thank you, Wade. As we imagine Rotary, my dear friend Jennifer Jones, who I have met one time and shook hands and had a photograph that I lost of Jennifer Jones. But as we imagine Rotary, we are challenged to imagine ways to grow this club, because to do all the great things that we do, to continue to do the service that we do, we need more members. And so let's talk about Discover Rotary for just a second. Discover Rotary is just one part of a club's effective membership strategy, but it is a critically important part of a membership strategy. We have found that Rotary clubs, any Rotary club that has Discover Rotary, and that includes ours, they are able to convert most of those participants into members of the club. Discover Rotary has value to that person because it helps them uncover their personal benefits, their professional benefits from joining Rotary, and to discover ways that they personally can contribute to improving their community and the world. It's a benefit to the Rotary Club because it is the most highly effective way to bring members into the club. And it's a benefit to you, our Rotary members, because it does your work for you. You don't have to worry about approaching somebody for membership in Rotary and going, who was the person who founded Rotary? And because you just forgot Paul Harris, or you don't have to remember dates or things like that. You don't have to get into awkward conversations about how much it costs to join Rotary, or about things like what's expected of Rotarians. We who do Discover Rotary do that work for you. And so it just makes your job easy to bring someone in and introduce them to Discover Rotary. So how does this thing called Discover Rotary work? It's a 1-hour overview of Rotary in its total scope. We talk about Big Rotary, Rotary International, how it was founded, what its service projects are, why it focuses on business ethics, and the 4-way test that we bow to once a meeting. It also is a very effective way of talking about the rich history of our own club, which is where most of the focus is. We have a club that has a storied past, but also a club that has a very vibrant future. And it's a good way to get people to appreciate all that we do. 2 of 1, every time I've done Discover Rotary, I have had almost every participant go, wow, I had no idea that Rotary did this much. So as I said, many of them go on to become members. Discover Rotary works this way. We have 2 of them a month. On the 3rd Tuesday, from 5:30 to 6:30, we have a virtual Discover Rotary via Zoom. And on the 4th Tuesday, 11 to 12, here at this hotel, before our club meeting, we have an in-person Discover Rotary. So thank you for adding Discover Rotary, as opposed to just saying, we want you to invite a member to a club meeting. Thank you for being so specific and saying, we want you to invite someone to attend Discover Rotary. Terry Weaver does it most of the time. I'm his backup. And it is, again, a very effective way to help people discover the joy of belonging to our Rotary Club and the magic of Rotary in general. So thank you.
Thanks, Beth. And again, inviting people to meetings, do that. I'm not saying don't do that, but I think a lot of times people come in the door at a meeting and they still don't quite understand all this stuff past the cart bucket, or wait, what in the world? So Discover Rotary gives them that context, and you can, especially if you invite them to the second meeting of the month, that can be a great lead in. So that's my first ask, get somebody to Discover Rotary. Second ask, you can get out your phones right now and go ahead and be working on number 2. So you'll be one further step away. So the first ask is work at some point during the year at Alexander Elementary. Now you can do more than that. I'm not saying you can only do it once, but we have so many fantastic opportunities out there at Alexander Elementary. In fact, we have a opportunity coming up on August 12th. It's our opening cookout for staff and teachers at the school. We need about 20 volunteers. Get out your phones right now. You can scan that QR code. It is not going to be an all-day event, but we do need 20 people to help with that. And you can already be on your way to doing getting your 3 circle badge. I think that's going to be a fun opportunity. I'm hoping I can be there. And there's great work going on there. Scott Powell has a big vision about trying to get one of us in every classroom reading once a month too. And Lorraine Holman is leading that up. So that's another great way you can get involved at Alexander. But really all I'm asking for right now is just one time this year, get somebody to discover Rotary and get out to Alexander Elementary and see the exciting work going on there. There is, I think, deep need, and we all recognize that at that school. And we effectively function as a PTA out there, and that they have wonderful opportunities for us. And I think it's the sort of thing that can change your heart when you see the exciting work we're doing there. So again, there's the QR code. Sign up for the cookout on August 12th. And then, of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't get you involved in Kringle Holiday Village, right? This is how we're going to be making our money. I think we had great participation last year, but my third ask is volunteer at some point one time at Kringle Holiday Village. And again, we've actually got an opportunity coming up on July 29th. If you scan that left QR code, we need people to help work the concession booths because that's going to be our launch night at the Drive game, and we will have a lot of attention there. So this is part of our cooperation with the Drive, and you're going to hear, we're going to get a lot of mention during the game that night. So the left QR code will be your sign-up spot if you would like to work the concessions. And again, you could bring somebody to Discover Rotary at the end of this month, knock out these opportunities. You'll have your number 3 badge, be the cool guy or gal before everybody else, be wondering what it is. You'll be able to tell them, sell Rotary, it'd be all good. So get out there, the left QR code again, that's where you sign up for that concession night on July 29th. We have a number of other opportunities where, I know Roger and Jane would like, there are other places we can do work for Kringle and getting ready. Obviously, that'll be a big event in December, but right now we can go ahead and be knocking that out. So I think if we can do those 3 things, we can really have a terrific year. And I don't know if anybody else in here is a public radio fan. Maybe a few hands. I feel like this might be a public radio kind of crowd, but they have these pledge drives. They're really obnoxious, right? You're like, oh my God. And so they're always trying new strategies for like, how do we get more people to call and give money? And one of the commercials is they would go around and interview people who listen to public radio like every day, right? But they still don't give money. And on one of those commercials or one of those little ads, they said, why was it? And the person at the other end said well, I didn't realize that they were speaking to me to give money. Hear me, I'm speaking to you on these 3 asks. Working at Kringle Holiday Village, getting out to Alexander Elementary, and bringing someone to Discover Rotary. Those are 3 not big asks. And I think if we all did it, that begins to do that work of transformation that I was talking about. And that begins to allow us to imagine a Greenville and upstate, a club, and you transform through the good work that we're doing in this club across all those lines that divide us. And I think we could all use more of that this year. So having said all that, I think we're going to have a terrific year. I'm excited to have you a part, and I'd like to invite Caroline and Connie up, who have dared to take on membership this year, to say a little word about membership, and then we'll close the meeting up.
I feel like we're so far away from everybody. If I could manage a microphone and my paper and my glasses and walking at the same time, I'd move closer to you. So I'm Caroline Stewart, and this is Connie Lanzel. Connie, stand up and wave your hand. It's important to know that the 2 of us are together. So Connie and I have taken on the leadership role called membership co-chairs. I have to say it's a little bit of a misnomer because our role is really in guiding you in sharing our Rotary Club with your friends and family, and you bringing in new, talented, caring, community-minded individuals as members. So it's not our responsibility to bring in new members. It's your responsibility to bring in people, and we'll turn them into members for you. So our goal for this year is 64 new members. That's the 1 in 3 Wade was talking about from Discover Rotary. And we would love to have the 1 in 2 and be up to like 90 new members. It would be great. But that's Connie and I've checked our list of friends and acquaintances, and we don't have 64 between us. So we need your help to bring in those friends and acquaintances to join Rotary. So imagine, on the theme of imagine this room full. Imagine that we do work with more schools than just Alexander Elementary. Maybe we have a second school or a third school. Imagine that our scholarship monies get to grow as tuition grows, and so we get to make as big an impact with our scholarship students. We're looking for members who want to change and influence the community. We're looking for members who want to make connections, because all of us join Rotary, I think, to make connections. For personal and professional reasons. We're looking for people who want to make a difference. We're looking for members who love to meet people and have fun together. We're looking for people who believe in the mission of Rotary. In other words, we're looking for people like you. I will tell you, I met Wade doing light bulbs at Holiday Lights. I thought we had to be chair of that event. I didn't realize I only had to work 3 shifts. I missed out on that. But I made the most friends in this Rotary Club working at Holiday Lights. And for Wade to say one time at Alexander Elementary and one time at Greenville Holiday Village, I think it ought to be more than one time, because that's how you make those acquaintances and you build those friendships with your fellow Rotarians. So think about your friends and acquaintances and find several people that you think would fit in this club. We're not exclusive, but you have an idea of the character of the people that you know and how much they're willing to give of themselves to volunteer and do work in the Rotary Club. There's a form on the table. It's on bright colored paper. It's not necessarily blue. And there are spaces in here for you to put your name and the date, and then for you to put 2 potential Rotarians' names on that. Just 2. I'm not asking for 15, just 2, okay? Put 2 names on there. If you can't think of who it might be, there's some suggestions for professions on the back that might give you a hint of who you're looking for. And we want you to fill that out for us and leave it on the table. We also want you to take out your phone and take a photo of it, because what we'd like for you to do is be the first person to call and invite them to Discover Rotary. It's up to you whether you attend Discover Rotary with them or not. Totally up to you. How far you take the recruitment of this member, or how far you go all the way through with sponsorship or whatever. We will take on the role of bringing those Discover Rotarian members into membership. So once your nominee visits Discover Rotary, we'll take it. We certainly can make a significant impact on service projects, scholarships, and the international support that we give to Rotary. We need to increase our numbers because we want to make a bigger impact. Imagine what the Rotary Club of Greenville can do. Thank you.
So please do take that seriously. I've just written down 2 names of people I've been working on. I encourage you to do that too. That's where it starts. Get out your pens, write some good names on there. We've got lots of opportunities in this club for fun and fellowship and meeting people that are involved in leading and serving in Greenville, and we want to invite people to that. And if you need more pens, just raise your hand. So do that before you leave. Take a photograph. We'll follow up, and but we'd ask you to do that too, to be that first ask for those people coming in Discover Rotary. Remember those 3 things that we've asked for, and that's one of them too. That is I know we went a little long last time. I was actually watching from the roof of the Pittsburgh Convention Center, our last meeting. So I know we went a little long. We might finish a little early today. So don't think that we're not mindful of that and respectful of your time. But before we end, the cart buckets are on the table. Jim Perrier is our new cart chair. This year, he would be giving me a switch, I think, if we didn't pass the cart bucket. So please pass the cart buckets. I mentioned too, Greenville Literary Association does have this upcoming book sale. They've asked us for any volunteers. If that strikes a chord, Peggy Brock is taking the lead with Greenville Literacy this year. So that's a new opportunity we have coming up. I actually don't even know the date of that, but if you're interested in helping out, let me know and we'll get you plugged in. It was great to have Abigail Smith back with us for the last time. She delivered a stirring address and really set the standard for me, so I appreciate it. Please come back anytime. We were excited to see what happens with your future as well. And thank you again to Ramona for a tremendous last Rotary year. So have I forgotten anything else? Please, somebody just jump up and stop me. Jenny looks like she's going to tell me something. Oh, wait. Oh, we have, that's right. I should have remembered this to start with. We have gifts for Ramona, and I meant to do this early. So please come up, Ramona. You get a glass gavel. I went to use this. Also have a special pen and a special bag. Officially. I'm excited for that official bag. So thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your summer. Our next meeting is Eric Weissman, I think is how you pronounce his last name, the CEO of Next. He should be interesting, and that's a really great organization doing some stuff in Greenville, just like this club. So with that, I think I'm all done now, unless I see any other anxious looks. All right, please stand with me and repeat the 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We're adjourned. Thank you.